Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel all about real estate. My name is Lewis, and in today's video, we are going to talk about a solution, or at the very least, something that may help two major issues that the California housing market is facing. One, affordability, and two, lack of inventory. And if you are new to the channel and you like all things finance, real estate, and investing, please consider hitting that like button and that subscribe button. Let's go. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The topic of today's video is accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. We're going to talk about what those are, what the benefits are, why they're important, and why it's something that you as either a homeowner or an investor should pay attention to. Okay, so first let's start with what an ADU actually is. They've been known by many names, but essentially what they are is an in-law quarters, a second unit, a granny flat, or maybe like a backyard cottage. But regardless of what you call them, ADUs are an innovative, affordable, effective option for adding much needed housing in California. And then, of course, the idea behind having an ADU or a second unit on your property is twofold. One, to provide affordable housing for a tenant, and two, as a homeowner or an investor, it would be used to provide an additional revenue stream to either improve your cash flow and improve your numbers on a rental property, or maybe subsidize the mortgage payment and the cost of living for yourself. Now, some of the benefits include that they are affordable to construct. I would add a little asterisk there because recently, not only material but labor costs have gone up dramatically over the last 12 months. But ADUs can provide a good source of income for a homeowner. ADUs allow extended family to be near one another while maintaining privacy. They can provide as much needed living space as many newly built apartments and condominiums, and they are well suited for couples, small families, friends, young people, and seniors. ADUs also give homeowners the flexibility to share independent living areas with family members and others, allowing seniors to age in place as they require more care. Okay, so now let's talk about what a junior ADU is, or a JADU. Basically, the concept is exactly the same as an ADU, except it is a junior accessory dwelling unit. And just as kind of a side note, this is something that I personally am really interested in learning more about. These are actually allowed to be created within the walls of a proposed or existing single-family residence and shall contain no more than 500 square feet. So a JADU is limited to 500 square feet, and you can actually build these inside the walls of an existing single-family residence. In other words, like let's say that you have a single-family home that's maybe 2,500 square feet. You could, in theory, cut out about 500 square feet of that home and repurpose it as a junior ADU to gain additional income as a homeowner. Now I'm going to go over how to get some more direction depending on the county that you're in with regards to these ADUs and junior ADUs, because each building department throughout California is going to be different. So you're going to want to go directly to the county that you are interested in looking at these in. But before we do that, I just want to note that I found something that's newly added to this website about funding for homeowners, and it looks like Cal HFA actually offers some kind of grant program that will actually allow up to $25,000 in assistance to reimburse homeowners for pre-development costs necessary to build and occupy an ADU. I went ahead and pulled up the term sheet on their grant program, and it really provided a limited amount of information. You'd probably have to speak directly with the lender who offers this program, but what I could gather from it was that they will provide up to $25,000 in pre-development costs. My guess is that's probably going to have to do with impact fees, permitting, taxes, things of that nature. And then it looks like this will actually hinge on some sort of construction financing. So possibly details for another video, more research will be needed here, but this is something that could be really beneficial if this is something you're considering for yourself and you live in California. Okay, so with that said, I want to switch gears a little bit and show you how you can find more information about these ADUs depending on where you live. So I'm going to address Sacramento County because that's the market that I'm currently in. And if you basically just pull up Google and you search either the building department or Sacramento County ADU rules, so you type in your county, like Sacramento County, Placer County, El Dorado County ADU rules. Generally, one of the first things that pops up is some of the information that you're going to need. So you can see here's the zoning standards for ADUs. Down here is the City of Sacramento website, and it gives some of the information with regards to these ADUs. But let's go ahead and click on this real fast. It pulls up a PDF and gives us some additional information. And let's just walk through this so we can kind of see together what this looks like. So this is directly from the Sacramento County planning and environmental review. These are the zoning standards for accessory dwelling units and junior ADUs. So it goes over kind of the same thing we talked about. What is an ADU? What's a junior ADU? And it gives a little bit more detail here. So in Sacramento County, it looks like the minimum square footage is 150 square feet, must have a full or efficiency kitchen. It can be attached or detached, meaning it can either be attached to the existing dwelling or it can be separated completely. And then as far as the junior ADU goes, we know that it can't be any larger than 500 square feet, and it's contained entirely within the permitted area of a single family residence. So again, myself as an investor, this is something I'm super interested in because you could potentially go out there, purchase a single family home, get excellent financing, and if you find a home that, let's say, is a really good price per square foot, maybe you get 25 or 2,800 square feet out of a house, and you could find a way to effectively convert a portion of that home into an ADU that doesn't really disrupt the main unit. It might give you an opportunity to subsidize your living expense. So with a single family dwelling, you can have one ADU attached or detached and one junior ADU within the existing space of the primary dwelling. So if you have one house, you can actually build a junior ADU inside of that home, as well as building an additional dwelling unit outside that is detached from that original structure. And then it goes on to answer additional questions. Can I use my ADU or junior ADU as a short-term rental? A short answer is that the ADU cannot be used for a short-term rental activity unless it was permitted ADU prior to January 1st of 2020. JADUs and guest houses cannot be used as short-term rental activity in any circumstances. Now this document is about 6 pages long. I'm not going to go over the entire thing, but it gives you a table of what exactly is going to be required. Like as an example, kitchen requirements. All ADUs are required to have a kitchen that includes a cooktop or stove and an oven or a range, while a JADU shall have at least an efficiency kitchen. Now, owner occupancy. This is a good one right here. This is something super important. For the junior ADU, the property owner must occupy either the primary dwelling or the JADU. Owner occupancy is not required if the owner is a governmental agency, land trust, or housing organization. Okay, so what's interesting about the occupancy status on this one is that you are required to live in that property as a primary residence if you build a junior unit. Now, my question would be, and it doesn't really provide any guidance here, is that what happens if you do that initially, but maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you decide to keep that property as a rental and purchase a new home to live in? If you know the answer to that, leave it in the comments below, but it's something I'm still trying to find some guidance on. And then it goes on to provide some other guidance on, minimum parking. As an example, 1 parking space shall be required, except for under these different circumstances here. So I'll go ahead and link to that in the show notes so that you can kind of see exactly what this means here in Sacramento County. But again, if you're looking for additional details regarding the county that you're in, you're going to want to go ahead and Google the county in addition to adding ADU rules next to it. And you should be able to link directly to the building department and locate some guidance. All right, so before we wrap it up on today's video, I just want to leave you with some of my personal thoughts. One thing that I'm super interested in myself is the junior ADU. And reason being is because I believe that those junior ADUs are a good way to subsidize your monthly mortgage. So if you're a first-time home buyer or even somebody who wants to become an investor, you can look to purchase one of these properties as a primary residence. If it has some extra square footage, perhaps you could convert that into a livable space up to 500 square feet and then rent that space to generate some extra cash flow. That does 2 things: brings more housing inventory online that's affordable for a tenant, and then it generates some additional revenue for yourself. And so let's say your mortgage is $3,000 a month, but you could rent one of those units for maybe $800 to $1,200 on a monthly basis. That is a large chunk that you'd be able to take to utilize and help reduce your monthly housing expense. So that's going to do it for today's video on ADUs. Would love to know your thoughts. Do you think this is going to help the housing market? Do you think it's going to hurt the housing market? Leave your comments below. And thank you again so much for watching. If you are new to the channel and you haven't hit the like or the subscribe button, please consider doing that. It really helps grow and promote the channel. Thank you so much. Take care.